Welcome to the 370th episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today, we are recording on January 7th, the first show of 2024. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I'm also 50% of this here show. With me is the man who's still hanging on to his New Year's resolutions, Carlos Rodella.
Wait, what are they? I don't even know.
Well, we have one for the show. Do you have any personal ones?
Wait, what's the one for the show?
We'll get to it in 1 second, man.
Oh, okay. Personal ones. No, just like, be a better human, be in physical, better shape. Yeah, I don't think I made one.
Yeah, I didn't really do anything. Nothing for me personally, but I do definitely want to overthrow the patriarchy. I want to stand up for global warming. I want to try to make sure democracy stays a thing in America. So I've got a couple on my plate that are, medium sized.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
That's medium sized.
Yeah, those are the medium ones.
Yeah. I don't want to see the crazy size.
All right, folks, welcome to 2024. It still sounds kind of future-y when I say it, but it really doesn't feel future-y. Carlos, are we living in the future?
We are not. We're living in the present, by the way.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And also the present it feels pretty much like the past.
Yeah.
There's AI now, and there's talk of robots, and it'll feel like the future for me when nanobots finally show up, because with all my health issues and everybody else that's out there in the world who have health issues, man, oh man, I just want robots to fix me at this point. That'll feel futuristic.
I hear you, but I feel like the way AI is going, all it's good for is writing shitty text and stealing people's art, and these shitty robots that steal people's jobs at auto factories, or they attack people in the Tesla factory. I have to think that if we actually did get the nanobots, they probably wouldn't perform like you'd want them to.
They'd break up, too, and they'd make me more sick. Well, whatever. So doom and gloom. Welcome to 2024.
Welcome to 2024.
But no, to answer your question, it doesn't feel like the future. There's no Jetsons. There's no flying cars. There's not even a hoverboard, even though there was, I saw a video of one once. Kids or young people, Back to the Future 2 is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
There's a hoverboard in that. And we don't have that now. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's the future.
Yeah, I don't feel like it either. It feels just like a really sad, kind of gussied up version of shitty times in the past. So I think we've been played. I want the actual 2024 where I've got a shiny flying car and I've got cool, techno goggles that show me things, and we can look at, we have a lot of screens. I guess screens is everywhere. Maybe that one came
true. And we have the Meta Quest 3, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
All
right. Anyway. All right, folks, enough prognostication there. Let's kick things off. As you know, if you're a listener, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, Carlos and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a strip of duct tape, and it's just old-fashioned duct tape. It's not future duct tape.
No.
His side, my side, things were a mess, so we're going to tidy up right here and right now. This is housekeeping. Carlos, what do you got on your side of the room this week?
Just a couple things. One, I forgot to mention, not just in our best of games list, but also just a really cool game I played, and I don't know if I brought it to the show ever, but it was one of the first games I played for Glitch Through the Ground, which is my other channel where I play games weird. It's called Pseudo Regalia. Did I bring it to the show?
I feel like you've mentioned it, but honestly, I can't tell you a thing about it. Why don't you refresh our memories
Well,
here?
just because it came up on another YouTuber list of favorite indie games or favorite games of the year, and I was like, oh yeah, I did love that game. It was just really simple, third person, doesn't even really have a genre. It's just kind of like an action RPG kind of, but more about traversal. And the little character would run around and has a sword and would fight monsters and stuff. But it was also about just getting to different places, jumping from wall to wall.
Oh, you know what? You actually didn't talk about it. I think I saw this on Iron Pineapple's channel. It was one of the games he featured. Okay. So I know what you're talking about. Yes,
yeah. Anyways, it's a super quick and short indie game, and I played it, and I actually made some videos from it. But it's one of the best controlling games ever.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, it's so simple, but they just nailed the maneuvering and, walking around the world and the map and stuff. So just check it out. It's probably super cheap now, Pseudo Regalia. Just want to mention that. And then also, recently, yesterday actually, me and my brother actually went to a GameStop.
What? Is that still a thing?
Yes, it's still a thing. And we were like, like not to go in too much of a tangent, but a lot of stores, and we were in this little plaza where there was a bunch of stores. A lot of stores do feel dead. I recently went to a Best Buy and it was like a graveyard.
Where they don't sell physical media anymore.
Well, they do, but it just didn't have much of it. And
Well, they've banned it from their stores. They made the official announcement. They said they are no
really?
longer carrying any physical like DVDs or nothing. It was last week.
Oh,
so
wow.
you will now no longer find anything like that in their stores. Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect like explanation to like what I see. Talk about the future. I see the future with no physical stuff in stores, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
But it just felt like that. We were out, and like almost all the stores were like weird and picked up.
When you went to the GameStop and like opened the door, did the guy or girl or whoever behind the counter look surprised when you came in?
No, not at all. That's my point.
Okay.
So all the other stores felt weird, right? Like I felt weird going to some stores, but we went in there and we were like, is it going to be that same thing? Like hardly any media and just weird and quiet. No, it was like the past. Speaking of, that's a perfect segue, not segue, but a perfect kind of callback. It is the past because it just felt like walking into a regular game store like I used to. Like tons of games everywhere. There was 2 people behind the counter. Yes, there was masks. But also...
They were wearing masks?
Wait, 1 was, and I think 2 weren't or something.
I was going to say, wow, that's surprising.
A lot of people in the store were wearing them. But the point is, it felt old school, and they were super like, upselly, which is all
sure, yeah.
bullshit, whatever. They asked if I wanted a warranty on like a single disc game that I got. And I was like, no, this thing is done. Like this is like a $9 game, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Yes.
But so it just felt like the past, but it felt good. You know what I mean? Like I actually liked it. I actually liked it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I bring it up. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. No. Well, I was just gonna say, I have many, many, many fond memories of going to game stores in the past. I mean, that was like my usual thing. Anytime we'd leave the house, I would always find some excuse to like, pull over to a GameStop or, Babbage's software, etc. Any of those games,
EB
game,
yeah.
or yeah, exactly. So Electronics Boutique. So back in the day, yeah, for sure. But God, it's been such a long time. And like the last time I went to a GameStop, we have one in near where I live. And God, I think the last time I went in there was probably before COVID. And it was like a bunch of Funko Pops and like shirts and anime bullshit. And then I looked at the games and it was like, man, there's like literally nothing in here I want to buy because, I guess everything just is download now. And, you can pre-order stuff and everything is, I don't know. I just felt like I just didn't have a reason to go there anymore,
Well, that's why I bring it up because I'm along the same lines as you for most of it. Because obviously I download everything, right? I download tons of games. I don't need a physical media for a lot of stuff. One, older games. So not just GameStop, but like your local, game store. It still exists. We have a couple right around me too. Remember I talked to you about Second Run Games, I think it was called.
Yeah, that's right.
And a couple other ones. That might not be the name of it. But and Pinkarella, obviously. So there's stores that, really do focus on retro games and having things that aren't going to be downloadable because they're carts or they're consoles, right? Also consoles. But then when we were there, some of those video game T-shirts I did like, right? And there was merchandise that I wouldn't have normally bought. And one was on sale for like $15, And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have got that just randomly on Amazon. There's something to, this is a longer tangent, but there's something to like discovery, organic discovery.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I love that online. I try to like, find something new every day to watch or play. But I think that goes the same with like you can't get that all from online. So, anyways, to that point, I found a charger for my controllers I keep complaining about.
Oh, nice.
And it was for 2 controllers at once, and it was GameStop branded.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. And it was $15.
Nice.
And it works fine. Both of my controllers right now are totally charged.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And my third one's on not. But yeah. Anyway, so I got that. And that one I wouldn't have just randomly found. And then also, this is going to be in the show later, but I found a tennis game, AO Tennis 2. I wouldn't have normally like went to the tennis section in my PS5, and downloaded something. But because it was there and I remember liking tennis and I have a thing I'll talk to you about on the show, I picked it up and it was also like, $10. And so, and I know I didn't get the warranty. And so I got both those things and I left happy. I was like, and I liked the experience. Like I liked being in there. And I heard a kid with his dad, and and that little thing where like, oh, I want this, I want this. It just brought me back.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
I only have positive things to say about it. I think that there's so much shit talk about game stores sometimes, but like, I don't know. I grew up with them. You grew up with them, and
Oh yeah.
I think if you can do it right, still, and make it kind of not just upselly and not just like an awful experience, I think they're really good.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I don't know though. I have to wonder. So discovery was like my big thing, right? So like before downloads got really popular, like when we were still all going to stores or ordering online, like you would wait for a physical disc. Like when that was still like the main thing, that was a good place for discovery because, everything was physical, even the niche releases and the weird releases and the oddball releases, which is what I always looked for. And so you could go to a store and search the racks to see what came in that week, or you could go to the bargain bin and see what was on sale.
Yeah.
And you would usually come across something. But I don't know that, I mean, I'm just speaking here. I don't know this for a fact or anything, but like, I just wonder if all the niche games that I would be into, even like half the stuff in my top 10, is any of it even getting a physical release? Like if I was to go into a store, would I find Goodbye Volcano High? Would I find Lamplighters League? Like, are there even discs being made of those things? I don't even know if that's even true anymore. And I know that there's these boutique physical media places like Limited Run Games and stuff like that. But that's like, they put out this like, full price disc like 6 months after the game comes out and you got to pre-order and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's different.
just not the same thing, right? So I kind of wonder if I went to a game store today, would the level of discoverability that I traditionally went there for, does that even still exist? I kind of question it.
Yeah, in general, probably the answer is no, but it's more like finding again, if you're looking for retro, if you're looking for obscure things, if you're looking for things that are just older and you've forgotten about.
Yeah.
I think that for me, that's the main thing, right? If they have a PS3 section, which by the way, the GameStop does.
Oh, sure.
And like, I just went through that. And then I went through old PS4 games that I didn't know if I had or not. And so it can happen. Yeah, it's not going to be the same experience. I'm just saying, like, it's a better experience than I thought it was. I also got two good things out of it.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, those used to be my bread and butter, my lifeblood, my most favorite thing to go do. And luckily, I'm really grateful that I got to do that when my kid was still young. So there are some excuse me, I can't talk right now. Oh, happy New Year, everybody. Some good memories from before everything kind of changed. Like not only just COVID and stuff, but like, before we went full digital and before my kid got old enough to only care about his own teen stuff and everything. Like we had some good times going in and like looking at cases and pulling stuff out. So I'm glad we got to do that. And it was like a true legit thing. So definitely some good memories. For
right.
Sure.
Because it might be gone forever now. Right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But speaking of bread and butter, which you just said, great segue into a food thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So I've been experimenting with different diet stuff because of my whole thing, that I complain about on this podcast. I'm sorry, everybody. My health thing. Sure. Anyways, gluten, trying to take some of that out at least. And I found Pamela's brand. There's a brand called Pamela's.
Okay.
And it's like almond flour and I don't know, a bunch of different flours. It's not wheat. And their pancakes are amazing.
Did you get them pre-made or did you have to make them?
No, they're in the package, pre-made, and then you have to add an egg and oil and water. And I did it this morning.
Okay.
And they were fantastic. I mean, like, I'm not like blowing smoke. It's like, it could be bad. Gluten-free stuff can not taste good.
Oh, sure. We've all had a really disgusting gluten-free loaf, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yeah. And this is really good. So you talk about food sometimes. Pamela's, anybody who is gluten-free or whatever wants to be, Pamela's pancakes. Holy shit.
That's interesting. It's funny that you bring up gluten because, back in the day, when I was working out in the field, I would often go to like many, many, many different restaurants because I'd be like gone like all day long and I would just be like, stop off whatever for lunch. And I remember a couple times stopping off at some local Chinese restaurants. And like one thing that was really popular on the menu more than a couple years ago were gluten puffs. Like the entire thing was puffed gluten. And I remember ordering it and being like, man, this is really good. I like this.
That's the opposite.
I know, but it's funny. It's funny that gluten has become such a villain these days because I can clearly remember like having that be like the featured star of the show a few times, which is just hilarious to me. But,
and I don't want it to be a villain, by the way. My insides maybe are mad at it.
Sure.
I'm not. I think it's amazing.
Just funny.
I have one more thing, and then do you have some stuff?
Just a couple quickies.
I was just going to mention I went back, and I was going to bring him on the show as for like a whole discussion, but I'm just going to really quickly touch on that I went back to play Mafia 3 and Watch Dogs 2, which when I told you, you were like, what?
Yes, I'm like, where did those come from?
Mainly because of, content.
Sure.
I'm trying to find like funny little moments in games, and those games both are fantastic when it comes to NPC like dialogue and weird interactions. I know that I talked about Watch Dogs 2 on this show. I must have.
We have talked about it several
Yeah.
times. Yeah, but a while ago.
But in general, I wanted to bring them up because I don't know if everybody listening has played them. They're both fantastic games, like truly special. Did you play either of them, by the way, before I start?
Which one is Mafia 3? Is that the one where you're the
The
returning?
guy comes from Vietnam. Yeah, he comes
I
home.
have not played that one, and I did play Watch Dogs 2, and I couldn't stand it.
I don't. Oh, yeah. Okay, you don't like Watch Dogs 1 either, and you don't
I
like
hated
Watch
Watch
Dogs
Dogs 1,
Legion.
yeah.
You don't like any of that
No,
world.
I don't. I just don't like that series. I don't think it's very fun.
And you also don't like Grand Theft Auto, though. Let's be honest.
Not
right?
a big GTA fan.
Yeah.
no.
See, so it's anybody listening. If you like a GTA, that's what that game is. Weirdly enough, you might like Sleeping Dogs, though. Did you play that?
I have played that, and it was okay, but I got bored of it again. I don't
Again,
think I'm a big
GTA.
fan for the GTA style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Mafia 3 is not that. Because remember, Mafia 1 was on my list of favorite game of the year. The people, Hangar 13, they just make great stories. And that thing, I started again because I had to start over. And man, I was like, am I going to play this whole game again? Because it's such a good story. It's fantastic. Anyways, people go back and check that out. And if you like GTA, check out Watch Dogs 2.
There you go.
That's my piece. I'm done.
All right, just a couple quickies for me. Number one, so we did our game of the show.
Game
Man,
of the show. Wait, did we call it
I am
podcast
falling
now?
apart here. I don't know what's going on, dude.
Game
I
of
am
the
off my game.
show.
I did the game of the show year last week. Nope, that's not right.
Nope,
I did
that's
the
still
game of
not
the
it.
year show.
Game
last
of the
week.
year. See, game of the year sounds weird.
Yeah, we did our top 10, whatever. We all know what happened. I did our whatever. I'm just gonna hang it up. All right, thanks. Thanks for coming, folks.
Bye-bye,
It's been a good
see
show.
ya.
Been a good
Wait,
show.
you're going to hang it up like it's a phone call?
Yep, hanging it up. Hanging it up.
Okay,
Click.
hold on. Let me do insert dial tone. Ding.
Click. Okay, we're done. Jesus.
Wait, can I call you back?
Maybe later. No, text me. Text me.
Wait, but I am talking to you. How would that
damn
work?
it. Ah, damn it.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I am just off my
It
game
is
this
game
morning.
of the year. It just sounds weird.
Yeah, game of the year. Anyway,
That's right.
We did game of the year last week, is what I was desperately trying to say there. And we went through the reader picks. We had a whole bunch, and I mentioned on the show that as I was going through, I was cutting and pasting and rearranging and getting everything formatted so we could go through it easily for the show. And when I was doing that, I accidentally had deleted one person's name, and I didn't notice it right away. So that by the time I had finally noticed it, it was like 37,000 back arrows back, and I couldn't go back to find the person's name, right?
Yeah.
So that person spoke up. They did hear the show, and it was Bill Fiskin. So thank you very much for your submission, Bill. I know he said not to make a big deal of it, but I felt like I definitely owed Bill that because I hated to not give proper credit where credit is due. So
Yeah.
he wrote in, said he was the one that I left off, and my bad, Bill. I'm so sorry about that. But it was Bill Fiskin who was the mystery submission last week. Thank you very much for sending that in, Bill, and I promise I will not delete your name next time.
Thank you, Bill, and we're making a big deal of it right now.
Right now. Big
Thanks,
deal.
Bill.
Big deal. Okay. The only other thing I have going on this week was I wanted to bring up our New Year's resolution for the show. Now, we kind of talked about this kind of offhandedly a couple shows back. I don't believe we mentioned it last week, but maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. And we didn't really lock it down and make it official, but I thought it was such a great idea, and you seemed really on board at the time as well. The New Year's resolution for the podcast will be that you and I both will endeavor to bring at least one backlog game per week, right?
Right.
So in their opening of the show, we always say new stuff, old stuff, anything between, which I think we stand by, and we have done that. I think we have generally leaned more towards the new because, new releases come fast and furious. But, I've got a crazy backlog. You've got a crazy backlog. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I just want to play something that I want to get to, or maybe there's something I've had my eye on for a while or whatever. I want us to have more of an official excuse to put the new stuff on pause for just a second and maybe get to some of the older stuff. So if you're still good with that, Carlos, I am ready to make that resolution of this year, this show. I mean, we're going to have new stuff, of course. It's not going to be just old stuff, but at least one older backlog game per week. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. And also, I'm wondering if it has to be because today I'm bringing an older game, but it's not on my backlog, so there is a difference there. But yeah, I think it should be from the backlog because we both have like a section, right?
I have like
A
like
little list.
thousands of games on my
Yeah.
backlog. So yeah.
Okay, and then what's that game? Metahojonian,
What?
Meta.
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
The game that's like 2D, and it's sci-fi, and it's that woman protagonist, and we both loved it, and we said it did so many cool new things.
What? What are you talking
And
about? I'm drawing a blank on
And
this.
it's got a
What?
weird name. We can never say it right, and it starts with M.
Give me more. Give me more. I'm
And
not.
it's like anime, it's 2D color, like 2D graphics, pixelated, and then they'll do cutscenes when she like hits down a wall. It'll do a zoom in close up on her, and then
Wow. I have literally no idea. What
it's
game
left
you're
to right, like it's left to right only. Remember,
Nope.
2D side scrolling, Mutazione.
Oh, Mutazione.
Mutazione.
Mutazione. Okay, Mutazione.
We got it.
We got it.
That's, I think, top of my list because we had such a good time with it. I don't know why I just stopped
man.
playing it.
That game. I know why I stopped playing. That game kills. That game is actually 1,000 times better than you think it would be, and it was really good. But I got to a part in the game where I think I just didn't know what to do. I think I just got lost, and it was just that little bit of friction that was enough for me to bail on it. But I mean,
Right.
like, it was so good. Like, the animation was so good. The story was funny. The combat was really good. Like, they were like, it was pretty banging on most levels. But I mean, it was longer than I thought, and I got about like definitely more than halfway through. I was kind of into it for a while. No, it's not Mutazione. That's not right. That is 100% not right. No, it's not. No, it's
What?
not. Mutazione. Fuck me. That's the game that where you are on an island with monsters and you grow plants. That's the fucking one.
Oh no, we were
God
so
damn
ready
it.
to say yes.
We're
but you
fucking
know what I
morons.
mean. It's one of those. It's an
Okay,
M
we're
word.
gonna. Okay,
We'll
shit.
take this offline.
We're gonna take it offline. We're gonna find out the name of this because I know what you're talking about now, and I don't.
And that's the game I want to play for my backlog.
Fuck, we're such morons. Okay,
I can literally turn on my PlayStation and get it in a minute.
go do it while I'm talking.
Okay.
And we'll figure it out. God, sorry, folks. Wow, we sucked. What
No, we
what
don't.
a crap
Don't
way
put
to
us-
start this
don't
year
put
off.
ourselves
Jeez.
down.
I can't.
Although
talk.
you can't talk at the beginning of the year.
And we got wrong game names. This is terrible.
Wrong game.
Disappointing
names.
all our listeners here. All right.
Game year of the.
Game year of the backlog. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, is that the name of the podcast? I
Maybe.
can't speak. Maybe. What are we going to say next? What are we going to try to
Jeez,
speak?
okay, let's just get off of this. Okay, folks, that was the
Let's
most
start the
miserable housekeeping
podcast.
ever. But before we get to the main portion of the show, let's just remind everybody, if you like, and I don't blame you for not doing it this week, please help support the podcast by going to patreon.com/the So Video Games Podcast. Every little bit helps with the cost of hosting, upgrading equipment, picking up any games for the show if we can't get codes. And also, if you chip in at the $5 level, you will be invited to join us in our members-only Discord. But rest assured, whether you contribute or not, we are never going to paywall any content or any episodes or anything like that. So you're going to get the same great show, slightly less great this week, free of charge, because we love you. So chip in if you like. If you don't, you're still going to get the same show. No worries. And also, while we're here, I do want to give a shout out to our newest members, Shannon. Thank you very much, Shannon. Your contribution is greatly, greatly appreciated. And also, Eddie and Zato from the Smashing Bricks Retro Gaming Podcast. Eddie's a friend from way back in the day. He's one of the old crew from Twitter, and it was so cool to see him pop up. He's got his own show, and Eddie's a great guy. So thank you very much, Eddie, and thank you very much, Shannon.
Thank you. And also, I made an appearance like a bunch of times now in the Discord, so I'm in there. I'm
Good.
just not always in there. Brad's always in there, and I'm just in there. Sometimes.
And we've got a lot of other really cool listeners and cool people in there as well. So there's lots of
Yeah,
people to interact
everybody's
with,
in there like saying stuff all the time, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I got to get in there more. So I tried really hard this week.
Appreciated.
Also, it's called Anno Mutationem. That's what the fucking
Okay.
game is.
Anno, yeah. So we were close.
Yeah.
Anno Mutation.
Mutationem.
Mutationem. Boy, they needed a better title.
hard
bro.
thing to
That's
say.
a hard say, yeah.
So it's between that and also it's literally between these two. That one or Adam RPG. Do you remember that game?
Oh, I never played it. I remember seeing it, and I think I even bought it, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Bruh. It's Wasteland.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I was like,
And
it
you
looks
like
really cool.
Wasteland.
I do like Wasteland, yeah.
So literally those are my top two on my pile of shame in my PlayStation. So it's going to be one of those for next week.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know that I'm ready to commit to something now, but I will definitely find something before
I know I'm doing
next
in the
week.
show.
That's
Okay.
fine. All right, folks. Boy, that was a rough start, but let's get the juices flowing, get into the main portion of the show here. Carlos, since you can talk more coherently than I can right now, let's start off with you. With I think was number 6 on your Game of the Year list. It was Skull Island: Rise of Kong.
Yeah, it is. It was like actually I was gonna put it at number 2. It's so damn good.
Oh man, that's excellent. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
You only hear good things about it online.
It's really tough to find anybody with a bad word to say about that game.
I know. Also, this a publisher is Game Mill, right? That's the one, and they did with the Walking Dead game, and that's only positive things are being said about that game.
Well, I can't wait to hear the litany of praise you're about to drop on us here, my friend. Tell us about Skull Island here.
I might even do a review. I'm just feeling it. You know?
Whoa, man, Carlos is on fire. Okay,
a review that could literally, if I say words right now, could go into Metacritic.
You could. That's a thing that could happen right now.
Holy shit! I won't do that.
Okay.
We're not doing that now. Yeah, Skull Island: Rise of Kong is fucking terrible. Everybody already knows that. If you just Google it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, worst games ever." Alongside like Gollum, and I actually did like the Walking Dead game though.
So wait. Are we talking? Okay, let me clarify because I've heard it's bad. I haven't played it. Are we talking worst of 2023, or are we talking about worst of the generation, or are we talking about worst since like Pong or whatever? Like how long of an era are we talking about here?
I mean, I wouldn't even use the word worst. It's just bad.
Okay.
So I made a TikTok of it. I just bought it on sale for the content. I wanted to make a funny video because it looked really bad. And basically, I will tell you what the game is in a minute. But just the prelude is that I got it for content. And here's the main reason why it's bad. We don't have to talk about the game really right now. Is that I played it for a while, suffered through it because it's not fun.
Right.
It's not fun. And then I got pretty far. I don't know, far. And then went the next day to reload it because I saved the game. And the save was gone. Just gone.
It munched your save?
Yeah. And I'm like, you don't have to give me another reason not to play this game. But you just did because now I can't even, I can't stomach going doing all that all over again. I mean, literally, I went to the save game to load it. I went to load screen.
Yeah.
And the save that was in the load screen was from right now. Like when I turned the game on that day.
That's pretty special.
Made a save from right now.
Wow. Okay.
And that's what the TikTok reel is of me just realizing that I can't play the game now because But yeah, you play as Kong. They do a sad backstory about your parents dying from dinosaurs, and then you want to get revenge and go and I don't know fight more dinosaurs. And it's third person. You run around as a gorilla. You're not huge Kong. You're like regular size. It seems like regular size gorilla Kong.
Gorilla size? How does that work? I think he would be bigger than that while he was still in his mom's tummy before he even got born because they're huge.
Doesn't look huge. He doesn't look huge. And here's the weirdest thing. This is a fun thing to talk about. Also part of my video, which is the very first enemies you find are these like little teeny mini dinosaurs, and they're like like they look the size of a chicken or something, and they can really kill you. Like they just gang up on you and hit you, and if you don't dodge roll and get out of the way, like they take a lot of damage off you. And I'm like, what a way to introduce your game. Here I am, Kong, Rise of Kong. I'm mad about my parents dying. I'm going to go beat things up. And these little chicken dinosaurs kill you.
Rip you apart.
Yeah, they rip you apart. And also the fighting's not fun. Nothing feels good. There's all these different, jumps and moves, and everything just feels bad. And all the enemies take forever to kill. And you're like, talk about power fantasy, gone.
Right.
Didn't like it. It wasn't fun. And then immediately, because, I'm the person who does this, I found the invisible wall and jumped over it and got outside the map. Proud of myself.
How do you jump over an invisible wall? Because those things are put there, as everyone knows, to keep you inside the bounds of the playfield.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine they stick a little ladder on the back side of it or something. I mean,
They
how the
sure
fuck
don't.
do you even get over it?
Yeah, so I should do like a whole section, or also maybe just do this on my other channel. But like, whenever you can find walls, like in games, before the invisible wall part happens, they'll put invisible walls, by the way, in the weirdest places. They won't always put them on the actual terrain. This is kind of pro tips for you. And so sometimes the terrain won't have the walls on them. The terrain will just be like, if you can scale it, a la Skyrim, then you can get over that invisible wall. Like lots of times the invisible walls are like on ground level,
Yeah, yeah.
but they're not like very high up in the sky. By the way, that's how I got off the map in Cyberpunk, is because
Sure.
they literally built a fence and they put an invisible wall above that fence because they were really, I think they knew that I was doing it, that I was going to get over it again. And then I got over it because I got high enough. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw your method of stacking cars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point is, they don't do it into infinity upwards in general
Which is so weird because why would you not do that?
because it's harder. It's hard. It's think about it. It's like collision detection. It's like something that you have to store in memory. I feel like it's too memory labor.
You're probably
intensive.
right. I don't know about the development.
I think it
reasons,
is
but
because it's still a
regardless.
wall. It's still an actual sprite thing, you know. Anyways, the point is, I just scaled the mountain in a really weird way and found the top of it. And then when I got to the top of it, I jumped over and I got outside it.
And what was outside?
Outside, I got stuck. In this particular section, I just got inside the mountains and it looked crazy. And then I was just stuck in there and I couldn't leave.
All right.
Anywho, the point is the game's terrible. Don't buy it. And even for content, it doesn't work because if I can't load my game, I can't even get to the good content.
Did we even say what the game was? Or are you just a monkey running around punching stuff, or what?
I said it. You're a monkey.
Did we?
Yeah. I said third person, monkey. You look like the size of a gorilla. There's other dinosaurs. There's crabs, by the way.
Is there
That fight
combos
crabs.
or anything? You have acrobatic moves, like you got banana blaster. What do you got?
This sounds like you want like an actual explanation.
I don't know. Just like what does he do? Like I mean, I'm not gonna.
He just
play
runs,
It,
he rolls. He has, a 3-hit or 4-hit combo. He's got a strong attack. Yeah, there's other things like a super meter. You can yeah, by the way, when I powered up with the super meter, I didn't feel any stronger and I died.
Do you have that nuclear axe? That stupid nuclear axe from the movie? Does he have that?
No, he doesn't. It's nothing. It's not fun.
All
And,
right.
and the point is, later on, maybe they add stuff. It wouldn't matter. Like the game mechanics are bad, and it isn't fun. And the weird jump. Sometimes you have to jump far, and you have to hold the button down and then aim like you're like a fucking bomb, like a grenade. You know.
Okay.
So it's just made badly, and that's why people are dunking on it. But I thought I could find some fun. But I don't want to go back I don't know if the save's going to even work. Anyways, I shouldn't have bought it. So that's the game, and I got what I asked for, which is nothing.
No, bad experience, and I guess you got some content out of it. So
One good video.
one good video. All right.
That's it. We'll never speak of it again.
All right, that was Skull Island, Rise of Kong. Let me talk for a minute about There Is No Light. I don't know that this qualifies as my backlog game. I mean, I guess I'm going to cheat a little bit since this is the first week. I've got 2 games that could either one qualify as my backlog. I'll just say this is it because it has been on my PlayStation for a while. This is a 2D. It was billed to me as kind of like a Souls-like action game. And we did a preview of this at Game Critics a while ago. I want to say last year because it hit PC a while ago. And I have to feel like the people who previewed it for me were very generous to it because when I started playing it, I'm like, wow, this is not my jam and I'm not having any fun. I mean, it's not Skull Island level probably, but so it tells some kind of a strange story. I don't know if it's like post-apocalyptic or just kind of dark fantasy or something, but it's like you're in this underground area. Again, 2D sprite based. Kind of like it's not 2D platformy, but just kind of like the overhead, Zelda-ish or something like that. Sort of. I don't know. I don't even know how to even describe after 40 fucking years in this goddamn video game field. I don't even know how to describe
Video
the
games?
2D game. Yeah, video games. But this particular one where it's like it's 2D, but there are elevations, but it's not side view, and it's not
I know
exactly
what you
top
mean.
down. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like isometric, but not really. It's kind of like in that middle ground. And I guess people just shorthand just say it's a 2D game, but that doesn't really capture the essence of like what they're doing here. And I really struggle to. You would think that after literal decades, we would know how to describe this fucking thing. But
We
I just
don't. We don't.
Anyway,
It's an action adventure RPG is what they call it.
yeah, I mean, fair.
But
sure.
yeah, you go up and down and left and right on the screen. Like an old school RPG.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it's 2D, and there's also like there's elevations within that, so it's not just a flat plane. I'll get to
Yeah.
that in a second. So basically, it seems post-apocalyptic or something, I think, and so you start the game with this character that you don't really know who's going on, and you're going to this like ceremony with this weird cult, and they're like sacrificing like a baby, I think it was, and then you get all mad about it because it was, I think, your baby. I mean, honestly, I played this like 6 days ago. I played this like the day after we recorded our last podcast, and at this point, like, it is, so much of it is fading from my memory. I'm just like, none of it stuck with me. I remember the story being very sketchy and not well told. These weird cutscenes that they would do that don't really help move the story along, and just, you don't really know what's going on in a clear way. It just really seems in a rush to set up like this revenge story. You go away for a year and you're like hanging out with like the Grim Reaper with a big nose, I guess, is who that person is. And like in the intervening year, which is just like blink, it's been a year. All of a sudden you've got like a different haircut and you're like a combat badass and stuff. And it just feels really cheesy and just not cool. And then you just start going after stuff like killing people. This game is strange because it seems like it's going to be kind of a hack and slash. But I think where they get the Souls-like, or whatever people told me about it, was because every enemy has like a combat indicator and you have to like parry like everybody.
No,
And I'm like,
I'm
and
out.
and it's not even exactly like a strict parry. It's like an enemy will come up to you. You'll see a red mark above his head. And if you hit him at that exact moment, then you'll stop his attack. But then you can also just regular attack as well. But like you get swarmed pretty quickly and there's all these red marks going all over the place. And it just kind of feels very hard to parse and kind of messy. And it doesn't feel very exact. And it feels like it wants to be just kind of a button masher, but also not, kind of. It just doesn't hold together. The other thing is like, getting back to like the elevation and the map design. I think the map design is really hard to read. It's not very clear. And there are these butterflies. The developer clearly knew it was very hard to see what was going on screen. And instead of going back to the drawing board and making it clear, they stuck butterflies all over the place. And what these butterflies do is, if you see blue butterflies, that's something you can interact with, because they couldn't figure out how to make it stand out otherwise. So like if you're walking along a path or whatever, it looks like background, 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 but then one of the pieces of background will have a butterfly on it. And that's the one you can jump up on. And it's not very clear. It's not intuitive at all. And if those butterflies weren't there, you would have literally like no idea where to go or what to do. So it's kind of this like little band-aid they put on top of the presentation. I didn't think the combat felt very good. I didn't think the story felt very good. I don't like the way that the elevation is included into the game. And I just really quickly... I just bounced off it so fast. I just ended up like attacking a couple times, rolling away, attacking a couple times. And then sometimes just so much stuff is on screen and just all the red marks going on. I'm like, whatever, this is just
Whatever,
dude. I just don't have time for this. This is not worthy of my time and attention. So I bounced on it pretty quickly.
I was looking at the art and the trailer and stuff, and yeah, like it seems like the game was built around the fact that they have a really cool artist. The sprites look really cool, and like the cut scenes and stuff like that. So it's almost like a story type. They could have just done a story bit.
Yeah,
but gameplay. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me just be really fair. So like when you look at screenshots,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Screenshots, when you are able to really look at the art, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool sprite art. It looks good. But in motion, it's too busy. It's hard to parse, and I just don't think that they took the right approach to this. It's just not fun to play. And I think there's a lot of choices here. Like this is what I walked away with, right? And this. Maybe they're going to think I'm a complete asshole when they hear this. I'm sure they're going to hear this. But like what this game feels like is somebody who said, I'm going to ignore everything that's been done in 2D gaming for the last 20 years, and I'm going to do my own thing. And that's what this game feels like. It feels like somebody who is trying to set out in their own direction and not following like the path that has been laid by the developers that came before you, between what works and what doesn't, what players can understand and what they can't, what is intuitive and what is not. You know, like you have your own idea, your own characters and stuff. That's all fine. But like there are certain things that we have discovered in the gaming field that, like, this particular type of design works better than another one. This one doesn't work better. And I feel like this person was like not looking at any of that stuff. Like I'm going to reinvent the wheel right here. And you kind of did, but like it's a fucking bumpy ass wheel. It's more like a square and it doesn't really work that well. So, whatever. I mean, if it makes me sound like an asshole, so be it. But that was my big takeaway, was like, why are you doing this? Why did you make it this way? Why did you make this choice? Why is this like this? It doesn't work. And I don't know why somebody would do that, other than the fact of, I feel like I've got an idea and I can make it work, but it didn't work. So,
all right. That
anyway,
does look cool.
It looks great in screenshots, and that was one of the big reasons I wanted to give it a shot. But there you go. There is No Light. Played that on PS5. Carlos, you are bringing to the show a game that I have been pitched a million times, and I've pitched to the Game Critics team a million times, Not only did I not bite, no one on the team bit, but you played it and you say it's fucking great. So I'm very excited to hear about this. You did. You did say this.
When did I say this?
When I talked to you the time before now.
Now, because we got to get this clear. This is a podcast that lives on forever, by the way. Not to make that kind of sound creepy.
Okay. It was earlier this week.
Our podcast live on forever. You know that, don't you?
Right now is January 7th.
Right. So
I talked to you sometime in the last 7 days.
Yep. And before I had played it, I said, everybody says it's really good.
Oh, I thought you had played it already.
No,
I thought you were telling me you enjoyed it.
No. I was saying everybody says it's like really cool idea, and I told you I like the idea.
Maybe. Okay, my bad. Let me retract that then, because I thought you were saying you had played it and that it was great. Okay,
no, and I'm saying that for a reason.
My bad.
I'm foreshadowing.
To be fair, you caught me right before bedtime, and I was pretty sleepy. So.
It's okay.
Okay.
The point is,
the game we're talking about is
called Laika: Age Through Blood.
Okay.
And a lot of people are talking about it. And yes, you've been pitched it a lot.
Yes.
And all those things are still true. And the thing that I was saying is a ton of people that I saw on favorite games of the year, or favorite small games that you haven't seen.
Indie games for sure.
Yeah. Check it out. And I told you what it is and what the game is.
Yes.
Is a Metroidvania game while you're on a bike. And
like a motorbike.
You're on a motorbike and you're a dog?
A fox? Oh, maybe a dog?
Because I think when you die, you go, woof. I think you make a dog sound when you die.
Okay. So some kind of canine animal.
Yeah, and
but you're like an anthropomorphic one. You're not like a regular.
Yeah, you look
dog.
like a human with the animal
dog
head.
Gotcha.
And every creature in the game is that same way.
Okay.
And so I can never say that word.
Anthropomorphic. Yeah.
And yeah, the idea is it's a dark game where you ride a bike, Metroidvania style, go left and right, but then up and down, elevation, blah blah. Then do tricks, and you have a gun, and you shoot, and there's combos, but it's really a story-driven game. So it's like a dark, post-apocalyptic world. Think Mad Max.
That is a real mouthful you're telling me here. Anthropomorphic animals, you're on a motorcycle, Metroidvania, back and forth, up and down.
Yep.
It's a story.
Yeah.
Well, that's like 19 different games wrapped up into one right there.
Wow, I'm going to make it much simpler. Watch this. Mad Max with animals.
Okay, Mad Max with animals. All right.
But it's also, hold on. Here's what the game is. And this is why we don't ever describe games the same way. You're like very meticulous and like, well, what this game is, and you say it well. And I go, brah, and just regurgitate words and then come up with things like this, which is, this game is anthropomorphic animals in a post-apocalyptic world like Mad Max meets Excite Bike.
Okay.
That's it. That's the game.
That makes sense. That looks like the screenshots I saw.
Yeah. The only other thing they don't tell you, and it is off-putting, and one of the reasons I don't really, I think I don't like the game, is there's two things. One, you start the game, you hear this horrific thing that happened to one of your, I don't know who it is, your friend's son or something, and you hear that someone killed somebody, and the way that they died, I don't even say on the podcast because it's really gross.
Is it graphic in the game?
Yeah, it's graphic, like super graphic to start. And I'm like, why are they doing that? Then you go and find that person, and they are in that position. It's gross. It's like they're hung up and it's gross.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would they do that? And then you talk to someone else and they say very descriptive things of torture they did to that person.
Dude, why?
And
you know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
This reminds me of the game that you talked about like 2 weeks ago. I want to call it like Patty Melt, but that's not the right name.
Patty Melt is a great name for a game, and that's the name of the podcast.
That's a good name, but no, the one where it was like the cyborg girl that was like really explicit and she had the talking vagina. What game was that?
Oh yeah,
it was like Candy Cane,
Cherry Pie, or
Cherry, something
Cherry
like that.
something.
It had a food name.
Yeah,
and that one you said was very graphic, like needlessly graphic.
Yeah, that's true. It does feel that way. But this one's like the thing that they describe is I've never even heard it before. Like I didn't even know it was
that it? Cookie Cutter?
Cookie something. You're right. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
The point is, I never even heard of like it's the torture that I've never even think of, and I'm like, that's now in my mind. You know?
No, you've been corrupted.
Yeah. So fuck that. Like I don't want that. I don't want it in my horror movies, even.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was off-putting, and then once you finally get to the game, which is you're going to go try to find like these killers, and by the way, the killers are birds. Like these are like bird people.
That tracks.
Yeah, birds. And so the tricky thing is it's got that left and right. You push left and right on your stick when you're driving the bike to go like pull back or push forward, like Excite Bike.
Yeah.
And so when you're in the air and going off ramps, you can do turns and flips and stuff. And then you need it to like balance or whatever. But then when you want to go up a ramp, like elevation up, on like something, another section,
Yeah.
you have to pull back. So it's not intuitive, actually. It's
That doesn't make sense.
Annoying. Yeah, you have to pull back, and then it puts you on the track, and then you can go up the next, you know what I mean? You can go up
I was going to say,
section.
does this feel like Trials at all? Because I know Excite Bike. I mean, but
Trials.
we're old, but also
Yeah.
Trials as well.
Trials,
right?
Excite Bike, Mad Max, Animals.
Gotcha.
And Gore I don't understand why. And so then you're doing that, and you're trying to find out whatever track down these people, and then you find enemies, and one of the core mechanics is you can jump over them when they're shooting at you on your bike, and if you're over them, you block it, like you block the bullet.
Like it shoots the bottom of your bike?
Yeah, it just hits the bottom. It's like a shield.
Okay.
And that's interesting. And then you have limited, like I guess you would call it a parry, but you're driving at an enemy. They're about to shoot you. You hit X, a box button or whatever. Oh, I call it box. That's right. Square.
Square.
And you hit a button, and it's a limited. No, now I'm like Brad Galloway.
Oh,
Limited
no, I'm sorry. I
use.
infected you with my corrupted tongue.
Your bad mouth.
Yeah, my bad mouth.
But you use the parry, and it blocks the bullet, right? But then to get that ability back, you have to do like a spin in the air, which could be cool. Like all this could flow and make you in a really fun state. We play games, you and I, where there's a fun flow state, but it doesn't feel fun. It feels laborious. Okay. And then on top of that, there's Matrix, Max Payne mode.
Like bullet time?
Bullet time. You get that. You have to hold down right trigger. It's kind of intuitive. But that also you have to recharge by spinning your bike in the air. So where it should be like, oh, it's like this to this to this, like spin to blah, blah, blah. That's what they wanted you to experience.
Right.
Carlos is like, I don't want to play anymore. Because if you miss, and I know it was tutorial level, so people listening who got past it are like, well, maybe it's not as, specific later on. But in the beginning, they want you to get it, or they won't let you move on,
Right.
And there's save points for sure. But I just kept hitting too many walls. Like I finally beat one. I was like, okay, I got to understand. But then the next one I couldn't do because they want you to block, then Matrix mode, then spin. And I was like, and I wrote this down, perfect explanation, too prescriptive for me.
Interesting.
Right? Prescriptive means like, this is what you need to do.
Right.
This is your prescription of how to work the game.
We are telling you what you need to do to get past this. And if this is not the prescription that you like, then it's not going to be a fun experience.
Yeah. And I just was like, I think I need to stop. And not to mention, I really was put off by the gore and the torture stuff because it didn't even have any place. People who stuck with it, who I listened to on YouTube, said they like how the story ends up, and maybe there's a good message later, but man, I don't think I can get to it from the gameplay. So
interesting. Well, this is interesting because number one, I'm with you on the gore and stuff. I do not need that right now. Like I'll watch horror movies and stuff, but like the horror that I watch is not like the super gory, like torture porn stuff. It's more like, horror comedy or lighter or like a monster running around, but nothing like super gross. And I don't like that in my games either. I don't like games that are like unnecessarily overly at the top, like cruel and graphic, and like I just don't get any value from that. I think there's 1,000 ways to tell a story effectively that doesn't require that kind of torture porn. So I probably would have been really put off as well. That's a big no-no for me personally. And what you're describing, I mean, is exactly what I thought the game was going to be from looking at screenshots, and that's why I didn't go for it. I'm like, this looks like a pain in the ass. Like Excite Bike is cool, Trials is cool, but then the thought of doing that in a Metroidvania 2D way did not click to me, and that's kind of being confirmed by you right now.
Because it could have went the other way, though, right? Because I really like Trials.
I do, too.
And I wouldn't mind if Trials had I don't think they have a gun in that game ever, right?
I don't believe so, no.
But I could see playing a gun shooting Trials game and being like, that's fun, slow motion, all this stuff. It's just the way they did it. Almost like the first game you talked about. Like, it's just like they did it their own way, which is very specific, right?
Yeah.
You've got, by the way, you have to do a front flip to recharge one thing, a back flip to recharge the other thing. So then I was like, oh, I did the wrong flip.
What happens if you don't land your flip? Do you fall off your bike or what happens?
Oh, you can, the minute you fall, you die. That's the other thing.
Oh
And
man.
I'm like, no, thanks. At least make it like Excite Bike where you have to run back to the bike.
Right, right.
Like that could have been funny. That would have been a good callback too. Maybe they don't know
I'm
Excite Bike.
surprised they didn't go. Maybe they're too young. They didn't know Excite Bike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But you just die all the time. Like, I mean, and by the way, it is adorable and sad when you die because it makes a little, puppy sound or something like, oof. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep playing it. And I did get it on sale, whatever. But that's it.
All right.
Moving
Well,
on.
there you go. I guess my internal radar was right to bump this one off my list because I had kind of bad feeling about it from the get go. So, all right. There we go. Let me talk for a minute about a game called Rough Justice 84. And I feel like I want to say rough because we just talked about dogs, but
Oh, that's
it's
that dog. What's that detective dog?
McGruff the crime dog.
McGruff the crime dog. That's
He
a
is not in
callback.
this game, and this has nothing to do with dogs.
No, I'm out. I'm out.
I should not say rough, but I wanted to just say it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And I keep seeing screenshots of this game. And let's just say, just similar to what we just talked about, every time I saw the screenshots, I go, that looks cool, but I bet you I won't like it.
Yeah. So okay. So here's what. So Rough Justice 84. I've played a bunch of games that are literally just like this, and I don't know what you even call this style of game, but there's many games out there that are like this. So let me attempt to describe it. So basically, you are like a person. There's a story mode. You play like a detective or something, but basically, you are looking at a giant map of a city, and on the city there are little hotspots, and you have to hire people to work for you. You hire detectives to work for you, and then you send those detectives to those hotspots. So let's say, for example, one of them is like, hey, this guy over here needs security. And then you have to hire somebody who's got a good security rating, like he's physically strong or he's got good perception. And then you send him over there. And how that looks is you've got a little headquarters icon on the map, a little face with the guy that you hired goes on the map, and then you see him like driving over there in real time. And so a clock is running. All of the little objectives on the map are counting down. You got limited time to complete those objectives, and you hire more detectives as you go. As you start off with like one, and then like if you do well enough, you get a second one. I mean, of course, you like later on get more of them. But basically, that's the game right there. Is like you are juggling time management with character management because they each have their different stats. Some are good at some things and some are good at others. And then you're kind of like sending them back and forth between these different objectives, trying to get money, trying to pass these objectives, and then keep going to do more things. So I've heard some people say they describe this as like a board game in electronic format. And I think that makes sense. It is more board gamey than it is video gamey, despite the fact that all this stuff is automated. Sometimes when you go to some of these objectives, sometimes it's a dice roll, and it's like this complicated dice roll, a little bit reminiscent of something like Citizen Sleeper, where you have to roll a certain number of dice, but then, you have chances to re-roll and stuff. I'm not going to get too far into it, but it's like a little dice game. There's also lots of mini games where you're doing like detective type things. Like there's a lockpicking mini game. There is it's 84, so you're like dealing with like VCRs and stuff. So sometimes you'll have to adjust the horizontal and vertical hold on a TV, and I'm sure people are like, what the fuck is that? Well, if you're old, that's a thing you used to do back in your TVs back in the day when your picture would flip. You'd have to manually adjust the signal so that the picture would come in stable. That's a thing that we used to do back in the dark times, so you got to do that. There's a thing where you're matching up footprints, and you got to like move pieces to like make the footprint shape come out. Like there's a variety of little mini games to kind of spice it up a little bit, which is fun. But basically, it just feels like you're just juggling these plates. Send a guy here, send a guy there, hope he gets back in time, get the money, send another guy out, do this other thing. And it just feels like a lot of like really busy work. Like I didn't feel involved in the story at all. There's also an overarching story that you can complete, and I didn't really care about that story at all. And I just didn't think the moment-to-moment gameplay was very fun. Obviously, this game was built for PC first because the interface is wonky AF, dude. Like, it's really strange. There's a lot of strange choices, a lot of inconsistencies in the UI and the controls that took a lot of me getting used to. And it just felt like a big thing to do. Like, it was like, if I have 2 hours to fill, I can come and push buttons on this game for 2 hours and my 2 hours will vanish.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't like I cared about the characters. I didn't care about the story, and I didn't really even think the gameplay was that fun either. Like, it just wasn't that great. I also had a problem in the tutorial which was kind of like a red flag. Like, you do the tutorial, and you have to do this thing where they give you a piece of equipment to upgrade your character. But I chose a character that already was at max upgrades. So then when I got to the tutorial, they're like, take a piece of equipment. And my guy's like, I can't, I'm full. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't get out of the tutorial because I'm stuck. So that was like a very easy thing that they could have fixed. And that the fact that that didn't get solved was like, probably not in for the best time here if that kind of thing slips through. So what I will say is this game looks awesome in screenshots. And again, that's kind of like what drew me to it. It's doing the 80s neon style. Everybody's got like the polyester suits. The chicks have big hair. Like it looks, a little bit like Vice City. It looks like totally. Miami Vice. Looks like anything from the 80s with like the bright colors, teal, and neon pink and stuff, hot pink and everything. So style wise, like the art is awesome. I love the art. I love the style, but just playing the game is it just feels like busy work, the game, and I just did not get a lot out of it. So
just hearing it, let's just say I got a little tired. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping it would be kind of cool, little like strange kind of board gamey thing, and it is, but it just did not click in the same way that something like Citizen Sleeper did, or even like like some of those other. There are a number of these that are like out there that I think are a little bit more entertaining than this. But anyway,
okay.
Rough Justice 84. I'm going to say that's a no for me.
It was rough.
It was rough indeed. They were true in their advertising. They picked the right title for it. So, all right, Carlos, over to you for a game that's sweeping the nation. AO Tennis 2.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it.
But I talked about it at the top of the show because it's the game I got from GameStop.
That's right. You are the hipster who is bringing the cool game to the plebe masses. Tell us about AO Tennis 2.
Well, it seems like every game that I'm bringing today has a little backstory. So I'm going to give you another backstory real quick.
All right.
Maybe a little known fact. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned it on the show. I think I've mentioned it to you. But I did game testing on Topspin. Do you know that?
Topspin Tennis?
Yes.
I think you maybe mentioned it a million years ago, but no, you can tell us again. That's
okay. But
a story I've heard 1,000 times.
Yeah, I worked at 2K and did QA for Topspin and Topspin 2. Topspin 2, I have my name's in the credits.
Oh, really?
So if you have the little instruction manual. It says Carlos Sordello.
Awesome.
And I spent hundreds of hours in that game, testing it. Got some really fun stories. Anyways, the story before that is I like tennis games. I actually like playing tennis too.
Well, hang on a second. That probably explains why you like doing glitch to the ground, right? Because why you do all these weird buggy things. Because if you've got a background in game testing, that seems to be that connects those two dots then. Because
it does.
Yeah, because if you know how to find bugs and you're like glitch testing and stuff, is this like an extension of that?
Okay, there's a lot of things going on here. So first off, my glitch stuff started with Game Genie. So, and actually it started with, which I just mentioned this on my channel, is the -1 world in Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
I think that's the very first time it started because I was like, oh, you can go through the wall? Think about it. It literally was glitch through the wall.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was blown away. And then Ultima also had weird tricks like that. We would hack Ultima. That was a PC game. But so early on, I think I just found the idea of reality being able to be broken in a game and finding that fascinating. So then, yes, later on, I did do testing for a while, a bunch of different places. I did some for Microsoft too. And it was fun for me because, I like that. Okay. So that being said, on top of that, I've always liked tennis. And one of my favorite games of all time, and I still say is one of the best physics, even though it's an old game, is called World Court Tennis for TurboGrafx. Mm-hmm. They made many like similar games from the same company, Family Tennis and a bunch of ones, and they're like sprite-based 2D pixel tennis games, but very, very good control. So like it's always about the top spin, the back spin, the drop shot, the lob, all that stuff, and then the power behind it. Like World Court Tennis and some of these older ones actually did that. Like how long you hold the button down actually makes the difference with how hard you're hitting it. And so then later on, Topspin, being one of the best still, made it all the realistic graphics and then also added those really great tight controls. And again, that like if you hold the button down longer, it'll hit it harder. And then there's like stamina and all that stuff. Anyways, some people say Topspin 4 is one of the best ever. And I was just randomly looking for games at GameStop, found AO Tennis, which is the Australian Open. If you didn't
I had
know.
no idea what that was. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it is actually one of the best newer tennis games. So the best ones are Topspin 4. There's one called Tennis Elbow, which is on Steam and is highly regarded as the best tennis game ever. And then Tennis World Tour, and then this one, AO Tennis 2. And the reason why I like AO Tennis 2, it reminds me of 2K stuff, is because they do the career mode. The customization is very good. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I spent a long time making me in the game, and I will do a video of it someday. And then the character career, after the character, the career stuff is like, there's a story mode. It's like a hardcore story. Trying to impress your dad, and there's like brands that come, talk to you and stuff like that. You played that kind of stuff, like career mode in sports.
Oh,
games.
yeah, sure.
So it's just done well. Like, I've got this game for like $10. So I'm like, all of it's upsell, or all of it's like a bonus to me,
Right.
So, and I looked online, they were like, oh yeah, we actually think that this is one of the better tennis games. So I was just blown away that night. Put it in. By the way, put the disc in, and you have to copy it to your console.
What?
Yeah, that's what happens nowadays, I guess. I don't know. I haven't put a disc in for a while, but I had to wait to play it because it was copying it.
Oh, wow.
So there was no reason to have the disc.
Right.
Right? That's a perfect example of
or does it need the disc to kind of verify? Are they
will.
still doing the verify check?
It will, but the point is it wasn't running it off the discs.
Right,
so
right.
I don't need that disc,
Yeah.
So if I would have known to find it on the store. But again, organic discovery, blah, blah, blah. It's a tennis game. You do normal tennis stuff. You can put multiplayer, all that crap, online stuff. But I just get them for the career mode. I always want to do like a story and just, progress my character. There's stat points. There's like, you could do a training day. You can do, there's a therapist. You can like pay for a therapist. It's just way more detailed than I thought it was going to be. And the number one thing is the tennis was really fun. I was like, just me here by myself, like yelling at the screen when I made a point. I did a comeback. I was like sweating, and I won my first like tournament match. And I was just elated. And by the way, all the regular stuff is there. Like I said, hold the button down for stronger. And then you can actually like pinpoint where you hit the ball, which as you're holding down the button for like the strength, you're also moving the controller to where you want to aim it.
Mm-hmm.
That might sound simple, but a lot of games don't have that. So the fact is, while you're playing in the mode, in the flow, talk about the flow. This is actually a good example of the flow. You're doing a few buttons at once, right? You're holding a button down, you're aiming the little reticule, you're moving your analog around. You're doing all that on the fly, but you get in the flow and it feels like tennis. I mean, I played it, so I know it just feels like the kind of mind mapping you're doing. You know what I mean? You're like...
No, but keep talking.
Okay, yeah. You're like, well, maybe I should just drop it over the net to the left side. And so you hold the button down, just for a little bit, and then aim, and then, Anyways, I won't describe tennis, but it's fucking good. Yeah, I guess I did. I'm so surprised with this game. I have my character in it. It looks like me. I'm fucking going through the tournament.
You need to post a picture online of your
will.
character from the tennis game. I want to see that.
And you can also go back and modify it at any time. So I'm like fine-tuning the face right now. But man, oh man, dude, what a surprise. If you like tennis, and I'm sure it's like on downloadable store now, right? So AO Tennis 2, fucking check it out.
AO Tennis 2, this sounds like the high point of the show probably.
There's one more game I like better, but it's really good.
But this is up there. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I'm starving. I'm going to chew into the mic for 1 second.
Please do. Just right into the mic. Just
Hold on. Let me do it right in the mic, and then I'll go
right in the mic. For all the ASMR people out there who enjoy that stuff.
By the way, let's do a quick segue.
Sure.
What do you think I'm eating?
I mean, it sounds like chips or something.
Okay, it's not chips. You're close.
I don't know, Cheetos or something like that, or
very close.
Some kind of crisp of some sort.
Go back to Cheetos.
Veggie crisp or something.
Close.
I don't know what. Veggie sticks.
Chickpea puffs.
Oh, okay. I was in the ballpark. Yeah,
they're called
chickpea puffs.
Hippays.
Oh,
and continue.
You get those at Starbucks, don't you? I think I've seen those.
No, you don't. Do you?
No, I think you do.
They're really good. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Let me talk for a minute about Vampire Survivors. Now, we all know Vampire Survivors, or I think most people probably know about it. It's like the indie surprise hit of the year when it came out, like 2 years ago or something like that. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this game has continued to be supported ever since then. Strong debut on PC, strong debut on console. It was one of my games of the year when it came out. I think basically everybody who plays this, if you give it a shot, it looks kind of like dog food when you look at screenshots, but when you actually play it, you're like, oh wow, this is really fun.
Really fun.
And I think anybody can pretty quickly realize what's good about it. It just feels great. It makes a lot of sense. It's just a really good time. So they have continued to support this game ever since, ever basically. And the number of DLCs have come out. I mean, at least 2 or 3 DLCs have come out since the console launched, but I'm talking today specifically about the most recent DLC. It's called Emergency Meeting, and this is based on Among Us. Have you ever played Among Us, Carlos?
Yes, and I didn't know this happened. It's so funny because I did introduce you to this game.
Yeah,
and
you did.
I stopped playing it, and you kept playing it.
Yeah, I play it pretty often. I mean, not like daily, but like maybe like once a week I'll dip in. I'll do like one objective or like one challenge. They've got a pretty good little laundry list of things to do. And when you've got like half an hour that you want to kill and you don't want to like read story or you don't want to remember where you left off, if you just want a pure gameplay experience that is always good time, this is a good one. And so I dip into it every now and then. I'm still working on I'm at like 90% complete on like all the stuff in the entire game. So I'm still chipping away at it, but
Yeah.
this was the brand new DLC that came out. It's based on Among Us. And ironically, I've actually never played Among Us. I have
Oh, really?
seen it. My son has played it a million times and I've watched over his shoulder, but it's like online multiplayer. None of that is my jam. And I watched it and I'm like, I don't want to play this. None of this looks fun to me personally, but my son really likes it. So I know about Among Us, and he would be drawing those little characters, the crewmates or whatever, or the crewmen or whatever they're called. He'd draw those over their house and open up my refrigerator and be fucking little crewman and on the milk carton and shit. And I'm like, so I know fucking Among Us, right? So anyway, this is the DLC. It adds a whole bunch of new stuff. No, so let me just say up front, if you know what Vampire Survivors is, this is just more of that. So it's not like revolutionary. It doesn't like change the game. I mean, you're not going to get like, oh my God, I can't believe they did it. Like, no. It's more of what this is. But if you like it, it's great. And I do like it. And I do think this is great. And if you like Among Us, you're going to get a kick out of all the nods and the winks and the references and stuff like that. You have to unlock the new stuff, which is interesting. I think Vampire Survivors takes a pretty unique approach to DLC in that whenever they add DLC, you don't just go to it. Like, you have to like unlock it by doing something that's already in the game. And maybe if you're really far in the game, it'll already be unlocked because you will have already done that thing. But it's pretty realistic to think that you would buy this DLC and you'd be like, how the fuck do I even get to it? Where is the guy? Oh shit, I got to go do this other thing first, this challenge first to unlock the guy. And then you unlock the guy and then do challenges with him. And then he starts unlocking more stuff as you go. So it's not just like, you don't just pick it from the menu. It's not just
It's like in the game.
Yeah, it's like in the game. So you're not just choosing the Among Us mode or anything like that. And I think that people who don't know that, maybe heads up on that, because it can be a little confusing at first. But it is just in line with like everything else Vampire Survivors does. That's how this game works. If you know how this game works, it works exactly the same. So you do a challenge first, which I had to do. I did a challenge and then I unlocked the guy. And they add a bunch of weapons. The weapons are pretty funny. You have little crewmates that can follow you. I think there's like 5 or 6 different ones, like the red guy, yellow guy, blue guy, purple guy, whatever. They can all follow you, and they all have little abilities that they can do. They'll throw weapons and chip in, and I think they boost the efficiency of your weapons, I believe. There's also a couple other weapons that are from the game. I haven't unlocked them all yet, but like one of them is like a loudspeaker, and when you upgrade it, it'll say like on the screen, like text will come up, and it'll be like, I think the imposter is... And then it'll show a little text box of monsters on the screen. It'll choose one of those for you. And whatever one they choose as the quote unquote imposter, it'll kill all of those on the screen all at once.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's also got a loudspeaker that like pushes guys back. There is a life scanner, which I believe is from the game. I think my son said it was from the game, where it scans you and gives you health back. And as you upgrade that, it just keeps you alive like all the time. So if you're having trouble staying alive in some difficulty levels, you put the scanner on it, just like heal, which is really helpful. A couple other, there's a new map, which is kind of like a space planet, but it's done in kind of like 50 style, which I thought was really cool. So Among Us, there's not like a world or there's not like a lot of stuff in it. There's no enemies. It's like you're always playing against other people trying to figure out which one is the imposter. And so they didn't have a lot to draw from in that sense. So what they did was they put like a 50 style sci-fi map. There's like some science buildings and like gray area to walk around, like moon craters and stuff like that. But they to use the enemies, they used 50 style classic monsters. So there's a Gort from like The Day the Earth Stood Still is there. There's a giant pointed cactus monster, which I forget what the movie's from, but I know him on sight. There's the Morlocks from The Time Machine. Robbie the Robot, which has been in a million things, is in there as well. So like, if you know sci-fi or classic sci-fi, you will be tickled at like the additions they put in the game to kind of buff out this content, since Among Us is pretty focused on the multiplayer aspect. But I think it's just really good. It's really fun. I mean, it's cute. If you know Among Us, then you're gonna smile at the nods, and I think it's just really great DLC. I think it cost like $2 or like $1.75 or something. It's like nothing. So you can't get really mad at it if you don't think it's enough. But I think it's great. It gives me another reason to come back to Vampire Survivors, and I didn't really need a reason anyway. The game is just fun as shit. So there you go. It's just a total thumbs up. And if you like Vampire Survivors or you need a reason to come back, I think this is the perfect reason to come back.
Check it out. And also a cool collab. And I think Among Us is about to drop a new game. Maybe that's why they did it too.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think they're working on, I heard like another version of that game or something. I think it's already announced. Anyway, so yeah, it might be like a nice collab because it's not like a huge monetary grab. The game's so cheap, but that's really cool.
Yeah, thumbs up for sure. Good job, and good job to Vampire Survivors, man. That's the game that keeps on giving, and I just want more of it. So right on. All right, last game of the show coming back to you, Carlos.
I don't know if that's true.
You got a surprise edition?
No, remember I said I had 2 games.
You do?
Wait, what game do you think I have? This is the last game.
I was just going to say let's circle back and talk about the Division 2. Did I miss one?
Well, you did, and I'll just say it really quickly because we'll improv it. All right, we'll improv.
Yes, and
Cat Quest 2 I went back to.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my bad.
It's no big deal. It's I'll just say really quickly, it's fun. It's not great. It's just like a simple action adventure game where you roll around and hit things. It's almost like Vampire Survivors, actually. You don't get hordes of enemies at you, but you are just like going on an overworld and like hitting things and dodging out of the way.
Yeah.
And it's all cat puns. Anyways, it's just like a nice relaxing time. So I did go back to it. But yeah, now let's talk about Division 2 instead.
Let's talk about Division 2. You mentioned it a little bit. We've talked about it recently. So you're going back to Division 2. I know it's taken up a lot of your time. I know it was something that was really you were getting into, and it's still supported. So where are you at with Division 2? Now, have you completed the campaign?
Oh my goodness. So I just beat the main campaign this morning.
Oh, okay. All right. Congratulations.
And thank you. And you had to get to level it basically because they level guide it or whatever, gauge it so that like when you hit level 30, you're pretty much at the end, right? That last section, that last big part of the, again, first section of the story really is level 30 to get there. So you have to be level 30 to fight it. So, and it's a stronghold or whatever. And so I went and beat it today, this morning. It unlocks a specialization, which means that now you can actually like specialize and work on skill points for the style of game you want to play, which is interesting. They do that at the end of the campaign. Right, it takes that long to do it.
Yeah.
I'll say a couple things. One, the whole game is fucking amazing, and I love it. And we both liked the first one. I already mentioned it last time, and I enjoyed the second one. I didn't go into it enough, but now that I went back to it, it's just, one of my favorite shooters. Like that's it, like hands down. Like it's everything. The sound effects when you do headshots, similar to like Rage 2, it's really good. It feels good. The loop is good. The grind feels good. None of it feels like a chore.
Yeah.
And you always are getting spoon-fed little things and upgrades and loot, so you just feel good. It doesn't feel. It just feels good. And so that part's good. The part that's bad, it's almost like just like a Diablo or something else. You just kind of suffer through it. Doesn't explain a lot. Like even though there's tutorial sections. Like how you upgrade the ability for each gun you have. That's like a very tricky process where you go to a crafting station and then you like donate guns, and the guns you donate go towards your level in that gun. Doesn't make any sense. And then you can donate resources to that same cause of upgrading your gun. Like it's weird. So there's so many weird little things that when I finally got the specializations unlocked, I was confused then too. And it's supposed to be rewarded, like a big reward, and they give you a special gun and everything. And I was like, why can't I unlock some things and I can't unlock other things, on the new skill tree?
Right.
And they don't tell you. You'd have to probably go into a menu somewhere. So it's confusing, that game, but it's almost like MMOs, like World of Warcraft or something. It's like, you just get in it long enough and you watch YouTube videos that you kind of understand everything over
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
So I can't be too mad at it because it's still fun as shit. And then as soon as you beat the game, it opens this whole other campaign, which is like, oh, but just so you know, there's all these other new bad guys that just showed up. And yeah, there's so many other things you can
Are
do.
those the
Like,
DLC campaigns that have been added afterwards, or were they already in the game? Or
it
do
was
you know?
already in the game, I think. It was like a second campaign. And then
Okay.
there is DLC on top of that. That is the Warlords of New York or whatever that now I can play. And that was like an add-on you had to buy. And then there's all these little mini teeny missions that were DLC they added. So it's crazy. It's an infinite game. Like they also just announced recently that Division 3 is being worked on and they will continue this series. But until then, all this year, like I mentioned last episode, I think, or whatever, they're working on, season pass stuff, and it just feels like they keep giving their players fun stuff to do.
That's wild, man. That's wild. Yeah,
It's so
I
good.
got really into the first one, bounced off the second, but I bet if I came back to it now, as we said before, I'm sure it's probably a brand new experience. They probably polished off all the rough edges and shit. So
There's
it's
no rough
probably,
edges.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
from what you're saying, it sounds like I probably would just sink back into it if I went back to it. I meant to download it before I got on the show, but I just lost track of time and forgot. I bet I've got it on. I bet I got it in my Xbox library somewhere. I bet I'll have to go check it
Oh,
out.
Xbox. That's interesting. I was going to say that's the only game I play with other people, and I'm playing on PlayStation though. Is it cross-platform?
I have no idea, but I'm trying to think of when it dropped and what console was popular in the house that day, because we don't, I get all the consoles because I'm the editor of Game Critics, and it would be weird if I didn't have access to games. But, I've got my wife is a hardcore gamer, my son is a hardcore gamer, and like we can't afford to be buying every console for everybody. We're not made of fucking money. So like I've got all the rigs, but like we will choose one for the family, and this generation we went with Xbox, and I'm very happy with that. I think that was a good choice for us because Game Pass has been fucking clutch at our house. I mean, I know that it's maybe not your favorite thing, but my wife and son have used Game Pass like constantly, so that was a good call for us. And I'm trying to think, were we on Xbox at that time? I bet we I don't know,
Well,
maybe it
if
was
so, then we're
PS4.
not
I don't
playing
know.
together. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Whatever it is where I can play with the fam, I'll figure it out.
It's so good and it's so addictive. And yeah, if anybody listening, has whether you be depression, you might have health issues like me, which I had both of those, by the way. Anything that's like bothering you in your life, and you want like those games for escapism, this is perfect for that because you just get lost in it. And the world is so beautiful and believable. Like this morning or whatever, when I was finishing it up, there was a mission before the main mission, and it was like a thunderstorm just showed up. And of course, I'm very privileged in the fact that I have a nice TV. Like, it's pretty nice. And I only spent money on one thing in my house. It's the TV. And, all the lights are off, right? And the thunderstorm's happening. I can't even see the enemies, but that's okay. That feels really real. It's not like they're not glowing outlined or something. I shoot my little, like, what's it called? Those little grenade balls. That's all I like to think
I know
of
what
it.
you're talking about, but
Yeah, and like they find the enemy and that blows up and there's this huge like explosion, but it's like in the dark, and so you just see like red, and fire for a minute. It just felt so fucking good to live in that world. Well, it still does. And when storms come in, like a fog storm will come in, like all things you can think of. It just feels so fully realized. And so when they do 3, I mean, it's gonna blow the doors off of other shooters.
All right, I just looked it up. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if I have it on PlayStation or Xbox. I have it somewhere, but I'm looking at the store right now. And so you can buy the Division and Division 2, which is, I don't know why you would do that. That's kind of, you just go to the second one probably, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But you can get the basic Warlords of New York with the base game for $18,
Oh my goodness.
or you can get the Ultimate, which has Division 2, the Warlords of New York, and like basically all the DLC. It looks like there's a ton of extra add-ons plus the year one pass for $24.
Holy shit. That's like literally saying, do you want Elden Ring and Skyrim put together? Like it's like epic,
Yeah. So that's definitely a pretty reasonable price for what you're describing to be a pretty good experience there.
Yeah. Everybody go check it out if you haven't. Go back to it. It's going to be supported for a while and definitely all year. There's a whole roadmap. Yeah, and it's the only game that I might actually play with a couple friends. Like I haven't done that in forever, but because I just enjoy being in that world so much.
Yeah, yeah. And this game, I mean, and it is possible to solo for sure, but I think it's always better with people. I mean, when I played the Division 1, it was me and my wife and Corey Motley, and we three-manned it all the way through, and that was like a blast, dude. But that's one of the very few games that I would like actively want to be with somebody else in general. So I'm guessing it's probably the same here. Probably
Well,
best with
no.
with buddies.
Well, no. So I'm going to
No?
say no to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I would just say that like I said that because I don't play multiplayer ever, and I like the game so much that I would.
Sure.
But I played the entire 58 hours, whatever I played so far, solo. So
Sure.
I didn't touch another human.
But to also add, you're the guy who goes into multiplayer games wanting to beat them solo because you like that challenge, which is something you've said you've done many times in the past. So
Right.
even though neither one of us are at heart multiplayer, I'm certainly not a multiplayer player, but this for me is one, and maybe your opinion is different, but for me, I like this game much more when I was playing with people that I knew rather than when I was doing solo.
I don't think it matters whether you like it more or less. I think that I do want to mention this though, because this is important. I never did yet. But all the NPCs in the game playing solo, and a lot of multiplayer games don't do this when you play solo. They help you. Like I literally
Can you recruit them to be like your buddies?
Yeah, well, just in the moment. Like
Okay, yeah.
So it's like when you go to a stronghold or any place that's like huge and fortified, you shoot your flare gun up, and it's not other players. It's just fucking NPCs.
I remember that.
And it feels really good. Like I haven't felt like that in a game like this. So I was just feeling like that's why it kept me so excited. Real quick side story.
Okay.
In that way, there's prisoners, and you can rescue prisoners. Blah blah blah. I rescued one prisoner, and they came out, and they were in a cage, for a long time. And so they, instead of just like leaving, the little character came out and just went to his knees for a minute, and like had to catch his breath. Like he was just blown away that he was out. And he was free, and he was tired. And then another NPC who was following me to do this mission came up with her gun, went down, kneeled down to him, put her arm around him, and said, and it had voice lines and said, like, it's going to be okay. Like, I know that was rough, but we're here, and, Division we're going to win this thing. And he's like, yeah, I know. Okay. I just had to have a moment. And he stood up with her. She gave him a gun. He held the gun. They went off and did a patrol.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, he went straight to patrol, huh?
Straight,
that's
well,
dedication.
yeah. But the point is, it could have been done, so
it could have been nothing,
arcadey
right? It would have been
nothing. Yeah. He could have just disappeared. You know what I mean?
Flashed out of existence. Yeah, exactly.
That's a video game.
Yep.
So my point is that they make the world even in that level with the NPCs feel like, yeah, you're part of a team.
Yeah.
I had to make that a point because it really is commendable.
Well, nice touches like that can really sell an experience, right? Like, in addition to the beautiful graphics and the realistic approach, having those little moments can really make the difference between something that sticks with you or something that's just like, yeah, I played it, whatever. But like, the fact that you even remember that story, definitely says something in its favor. So
yeah, totally.
For sure.
All right.
The Division 2, you got me kind of wanting to go check. After this is done, I got to really remember. I'm going to try my best to remember to go upstairs and check it out.
Okay.
And see. All right. So that is the show. That's all we've got to talk about as far as the main campaign, the main quest, the main content. But we do have some DLC. We have some side content to talk about here.
Yes.
A couple things before we go. So this is the non-game portion of the show, just for a few seconds. As Carlos and I were looking at Game of the Year stuff last week, we talked briefly about maybe doing some TV/movie things, but the show was already so packed. We were like, nah, let's hold back. But I think this week, just for people who are interested, we're going to just briefly circle back on some of our favorite TV and movies of 2023. I've got 4 that I would call my best of, and I've got a couple other things to talk about in general, but let's talk about the best of first. Carlos, I know you got more than I do.
Yeah, I just have a few shows and a few movies.
Okay, you go first, then I'll do mine, then we'll go back and forth.
First one is one I just found, but it's these are both 2 that I just found TV shows.
And these are your best ofs, right?
Best ofs, yeah. I mean, they're my favorite experiences this year, I think.
Okay.
And there's so many more, but whatever, I can't go through them. But Mo on Netflix, it's amazing. I think I mentioned it even last episode, didn't I?
I think you did, yeah.
Okay, so I already talked about it, but in general, it's just this Arabic family who has this really kind of dark past. They're here in America. They're trying to make it. And the guy Mo, which by the way is a comedian, and he has this great cast around him, and it's like a drama, it's a comedy, it's real, it hits you in the feels, and it's him just trying to make it in the world kind of thing. It's fucking great. Also, Brother Son, which is the Brother Son, also on Netflix. Also very good.
Is that SUN or SON?
SUN.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a karate type, fighting movie. The fact there's a lot of actual fight scenes in it. Think, what's the one that we like? The tower one. You Attack the Block. Or
Attack
I
the
like
Block.
That. Yeah. It's got a lot of fighting, but it's also got a lot of heart. And it's a story about this family who's in this huge, it's a Chinese kind of empire, like a mafia type thing.
Is this like modern times or is it old
Modern
times?
times? Yeah.
Modern times. Okay.
I said like empire. It sounds old, but they're kind of tied to this ancient, sect of fighters and stuff like that, and crime. But it's in a modern setting where like the son is like, they call him soft, and he's just like wants to do improv, and he's not a fighter. And so he gets dragged into the world, and his brother is like an amazing mixed martial artist, like just he kills people all the time. And so it's that fun juxtaposition of like, great fighter, soft guy who just wants to eat churros. And then the mother is the woman from Everything All at Once.
Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah. And she, she hasn't fought yet. I've watched like 5 episodes, but I know she's going to be fighting at some point. It's very, very, very good. It's like drama and fighting. And then I also have to mention Fargo, the new season I love, and it's very powerful.
Season 5?
Season 5.
5, okay.
End of the World, Carol and the End of the World.
Okay.
An animated show on Netflix about a meteor that's going to crash, and so everybody's just like lost their mind and doing weird things, and she doesn't fit in with any of it, which I can relate. Our Flag Meets Death was a very special thing this year. You will get around to it at some point.
It's on my list.
It is a powerful and very satisfying ending. And then, of course, Reservation Dogs, which is just
of course.
Truly great.
Wonderful stuff. All right, excellent. Was that including movies too?
That's
or
just the shows.
Okay, so as far as TV goes, what do I have? I know that you didn't care for this too much, but Deadlock for me was amazing. Like probably my favorite show of the whole year. I thought it was so fucking good. The wife and I just could not get enough of it. It was just so funny and so smart. And it talked about modern gender roles and about how we view sexuality and also, the culture around that, but also a great detective story. Also really fucking funny. I believe it was from New Zealand. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was New Zealand, and it was just really hilarious. So
yeah,
Deadlock.
I don't think I did not like it, that's a double negative. I think I just saw a little bit of it and didn't know much.
Yeah, but you weren't compelled to watch more. So
I wasn't.
It didn't connect with you right away. So.
That's cool.
Anyway, Deadlock was great. I want to give a shout out to the One Piece live action show, which was on Netflix. Which I thought was really fun. It was really great. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that maybe anime purists maybe have some problems with it or whatever, but we watched a bunch of the anime after we watched the TV show, and we were just incredibly blown away by how faithful the live action was and how hard they worked to honor the spirit of the anime. We enjoyed both, but I got to say the TV show was great. And as our introduction to One Piece, I had never watched anything One Piece before that. I mean, I knew what it was because you can't not know because it's just this huge thing. But watching that first, I think was a great way to just get introduced to the world and the characters and everything. And that kind of opened the door to the anime for us. But really wonderful stuff. I thought it was a very great adaptation. And the other TV show that I want to throw a shout out to was one that I think that you like is Extraordinary. You like that one, right?
Oh yeah, I could have mentioned that too. It's great.
Yeah, it's about a whole world where every single person in the world has superpowers except for the main character who I guess something went wrong during puberty and she did not develop powers. So she's like the one normal person in a world full of superpowered people. And it's really fucking funny. I think it's from the UK, isn't it? It's from England or something like that. It's really funny. Just a lot of life humor and situational humor, and just the jokes are really funny, but they also incorporate the powers in a cool way, because I think it's really true that if everybody in the world had superpowers, it's not like everybody would be Superman. You would be the same dumb fuck that you already were. You could just do even worse stuff. Yeah. You would make bigger mistakes, or you would just act like a bigger idiot, which I think is probably pretty fucking true. So Extraordinary was great. I have one movie, but I'll save that for after movies. So those were my TV shows.
Well, the movie might be the same as Bottoms.
Yeah, Bottoms,
Yeah.
dude. Fucking amazing
Fucking
fucking movie,
incredible.
dude. So good. I just, man, me and the wife were just like rolling. We loved every fucking minute of that goddamn movie. It was so good.
It's also very satisfying for me because I got to show you it, and
You
then you
did.
both liked
I
it.
totally watched it based on just your recommendation.
Yeah.
And now that we're thinking about it, I do want to give a shout out to what's the other one where the girl goes back in time and oh gosh, I gotta look it up now. She goes in a time machine and she goes back and like hangs out with her best friend's mom. You know
That
what I'm
was
talking
really
about?
good. The horror one.
Yeah, it was kind of a horror one. She goes to find out who the serial killer was, and she goes back in time with this janky ass time
Yeah,
machine.
we
and
both
it
liked
was,
that.
oh god, I gotta look it up now. Damn it.
It's like the '80s, and it felt like Back to the Future.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
good.
it was very good.
And then also, Leave the World Behind was really dark and creepy. Did you ever finally watch that?
It's on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. It's phenomenal. Like, it's kind of scary, though, because it makes you feel like, hey, this could happen right now. But I think it's also important to watch that kind of stuff. The Killer, which I love David Fincher, anything he does. This is kind of a short, kind of condensed movie for him. Like a short little, it's a kind of long movie, but it doesn't feel like a full-on film at times. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's really good, The Killer. And these are some documentaries that I don't think I even told you about. But this just got released, and I was waiting for it. Bitconned, about a guy who did crypto stuff, but I'm a sucker for a good documentary. Time Bomb Y2K is amazing. It's a literally sectioned together pieces of television, all 4x3. So like this isn't like a new thing. It's just put together all the things that happen leading up to Y2K and then after. So it's like all the news reports, you know.
God, do people even know what Y2K is these days?
Well, they watch that documentary, they'll learn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it's fascinating. And it actually has a good message at the end. And then I just want to mention The Menu, which we both watched, right? You saw
Oh yeah, the menu was really good. Yeah, I like
Fantastic.
Yeah, great movie.
And one of my favorite movies, and I never thought I'd see this coming, but I brought my brother to a theater. We go to this one theater called the iPic, and it's you have your own little box. Did I told you about that? It's like there's nobody near you.
Yeah, I think you
You
mentioned
get
that.
your own little area, and then they bring you food and stuff. Anyways, we saw Wonka.
Really? How was it?
Very good.
I've been hearing nothing but good things
Fucking
about
great.
that one.
Yeah, because it's the beginning. It's the prequel to Willy Wonka and what was it? The original called Chocolate Factory?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
No, it wasn't. It was called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Was it? I don't know.
Anyways,
well, we
the
know
point
what it
is,
anyway.
the Gene Wilder one, phenomenal. We can't touch it. But this is the beginning of it. Timothy Chalamet's the Wonka. Keegan is in it. Michael Key from Key and Peele.
Oh, okay.
And just in general, though, it's a musical, and I generally don't like musicals, but they don't do it too much. Like it is not singing all the time, and it's done so beautifully, and it makes sense, and it explains why he's the way he is, and he struggled. And the little Oompa Loompa is what's his butt from? Oh, I would look this up. The British actor Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's Hugh
funny.
Grant. But you would think on paper that doesn't work. It works so good. He's like,
No, Hugh Grant is a pretty phenomenal actor, despite all of his checkered past and mistakes and stuff. He is actually a pretty great actor.
oh my goodness. It just works because it's not like, demeaning to, people like that would play that
To
role.
little people, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's just a CG type of thing, but it looks so realistic that it's like this little alien, like Oompa Loompas would be like these other, race of
Right.
people on this planet. So anyways, the point is it's very good. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Quick little side note.
Yeah.
I've heard, I can't confirm this because I don't have a copy of the original version of the book, but I've heard that the original Roald Dahl story, Oompa Loompas were actually pygmies from Africa. Have you heard that?
No, I didn't.
I have heard that, and then apparently people were like, "Yeah, you can't really do that," and he like changed it to Oompa Loompas to make them
Yeah.
be orange or whatever. So, I looked up the name of the movie, Totally Killer. That's what it was. Totally
Oh, so
Killer.
good.
Excellent fucking film. That was one of my favorites of the year as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. I have a list of other stuff just from like that I'm watching right now, but we don't need to get into that. I'll save it for next week. I think.
We're done with the show.
Yeah, we're done with the show. So, all right, folks. Good show. Started off in a bad place. I think we ended up in a better
You were
place.
fine. You just said words wrong. That's all.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I disappointed myself, man. High standards.
Well, let's delete it. Let's just delete it. I'm
No,
gonna
we're
eat.
not gonna delete it. No,
I'm
just
going
let
to
it
eat for the
ride.
rest of the podcast, and I'm going to make us delete it. We're
Nah,
deleting this
don't delete
episode.
it. No, because then we're not going to be able to re-record the whole beginning of the show. You're just going to make noise over there.
I'm kidding.
Folks,
I'm not going to delete anything.
before we close, we'd like to ask you to leave reviews, share us on social media, and most important of all, please recommend us to your friends because nothing beats word of mouth. Also, if you'd like to support the show and help us out with the cost, you can go over to patreon.com/the So Video Games Podcast. And anybody chipping in at $5 or more will be invited to join us in the Discord, which is just a chat room. There's no
Fun
voice
chat.
or multiplayer. Yeah, I saw some folks were concerned it was like a chat thing, like voice chat, but no. It's just like a text chat room. It's pretty chill. It's pretty laid back. Cool people. As always, we want to get your questions and your comments. Hit us up at sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us individually. Carlos, where are we sending your traffic this week?
Sorry, I'm so hungry. Glitch to the ground. Just go there. Look for that.
.com?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Okay.
I probably
Like
should
on
do that, eh?
Instagram, TikTok.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Glitch to the ground.
There we go. As for me, I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find me there. It's my name, BradGallaway. All A's, no O's. And this is going to do it for episode 370. Thank you again for joining us here on the So Video Games Podcast, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Delete. I just deleted the podcast.